What up, everyone? Welcome to Ecom and Beyond. We appreciate everyone being here this morning. Of course, I have my awesome co-host, Pittsburgh, who was upstairs for a second, so we apologize for starting a few seconds late. And Blood, Sweat, and Cell says, we know what that means. Nah, he wasn't DD Bean. He wasn't DD. Good guess. Good guess. Like 95% of the time, that probably was it, but it wasn't. I want to say good morning to Cajun Root Resellers, first one in the house this morning. Appreciate you being here,
Johnny.
We have Jody Meatama. What up? One of Canada's finest. We have Nikki T in the house. Good morning. Appreciate you being here.
Morning, Nikki.
We have Kelly, the Ecom mom, board.
I just scared the living crap out of Nala. He was sitting on the other side of the computer. He literally just darted up the steps. Poor thing.
So now we are in a...
Yeah. Apparently Nala fears the Ecom mom.
I can understand. Good morning to Blood, Sweat, and Cell.
Hey, Leroy.
Appreciate you being here. We have Michelle Lathan in the house. Good morning. Appreciate you being here.
Morning, Michelle.
We have Top Notch Flips. What up, Alexis?
What up?
And Shark Picker. What is going on? Now that's they have that, I guess, standard in StreamYard, unless it's a pay only type. I don't know. They upload that in there, which I'm gonna have to definitely want. I want to do my own custom type one. It will be coming soon.
Super cool.
We have the Hippitus, the Flippitus. Mama in the house. Good to see you. Alex, Fatman the Flipper. Good to see you, my friend.
What up?
Hope that the storage locker is going well. We have Joseph in the house. What is up, my friend? Good to see you. We have DC Sales, Master License Plate. Good morning. We have Rev Resell. What up, man? Good to see you.
Rev. Good morning.
JR, KR 1964. Good morning. Appreciate you being here. We have Thrift BCQ.
What up, man?
Always appreciate the logo of his.
Yeah, that logo's legit.
That's definitely top notch. Did you make that, Thrift Beast?
My bad, dude.
You did. I might need to have you make something custom for me. That is awesome.
Well, you want a different logo than the one you have?
Yeah, I think it could be improved. I think there could be some improvements on the beard front.
You just want a beard in the logo?
Nah, I mean, I'm sure that would be probably one of the things that could be in there, but it's not like a mandatory thing. We got Joe Deals in the house. Good morning. Appreciate you.
The good people at Fiverr made that.
I've dealt with some of those fine people myself, but they did not create an awesome logo like that for me. I had mine done by who was that? I'm drawing a blank. It was a viewer.
Was it the same one that did mine?
Yeah, I think so.
Lucas did mine.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, Lucas did mine. I like it. I'm not saying like mine's bad or anything. I just, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I need something fresh and funky. We have SSK Promo in the house.
What's going on?
Appreciate you being here. Seesaw Flips, what up?
What up, man?
Morning, y'all. Made it to Philly last night. Welcome to the PA, man. Glad you made it here safe. Make sure to add that Philly cheesesteak on the menu for lunch.
But don't forget, all of the Lombardis are on the other side of the state. I mean, there's a couple. Actually, there might be. Was there one in Philly?
One.
Yeah, there's one there. But if you want to see like 6 legitimate ones, you just drive 5 hours down the road. Me and Nate will show you where they are.
A little cruise.
Yep.
If you drove from Texas to Philly, 5 hours is nothing. We got the flipping accountant in the house. Good morning. Appreciate you being here. He said Cowboys for life.
Gross.
I used to be a Cowboys fan, not gonna lie, when I was young, like super young.
Even grosser. You were a misled youth, man.
I mean, at the
At
time,
what point in your life did you get right?
it was the like I think it was more the colors and the jerseys back then for me. Like that's cool. You know what I mean? Like I like blue. I don't know. I was a kid. I was like
cooler than black and yellow, though.
I was like 8 years old at the time. Like black and yellow, like especially back then with the jerseys that they had, it looked like I'm not gonna lie, like compared to Dallas's like white and
hey people, we need to revolt against this man right now. He just said that the Pittsburgh Steelers uniforms look like doo-doo brown.
They were like the most generic looking numbers. Like I said, I was young. I was like 8 years old. But at the time.
Oh, that's cool, Scott. He dropped a free online conference for Amazon sellers or those interested in starting in Amazon.
There you go. So if you want to be you
know what's funny, Joseph? He's a current Lakers fan.
I'm definitely a Lakers fan. Anything's better than.
So the 2 best teams in all of sports, you think are doo-doo brown?
Okay, you're half right about that, and it's definitely not. Just saying. I'm a LeBron fan.
Joseph doesn't even know who you are anymore, bro. Yeah, and do you know where LeBron spent the majority of his career?
Yeah, and you know where he left twice?
Do you know where he went twice?
You know where he lived twice? Well, since Alex is here, we might as well sing the national anthem. Start the show.
Oh, say, can you sing?
Crack. What in the world? I gotta buy glasses. What? Yeah, the Cowboys they had the dream team a little bit, especially Dion. Dion was the man too, man. Especially
Kelly,
back then.
there may or may not be somebody playing on your basketball team that resembles Nate. If you give him a Pittsburgh hat, some glasses, and make him never go in the sun again, he might look like Nate.
Who would that be?
James Harden.
I don't know, man.
Do you have the picture
Of the one? Yeah.
of you in the James Harden suit?
No, I do, but it's not uploaded on my wall.
Reseller man, what up? Pirates in the house. Good to see you, my friend.
What up, reseller man? Appreciate you being here. What up, pirate? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Flipping Account says he has a premiere after the morning show.
What?
So
Better
check
go
out his
watch the
content.
Flipping Accountant.
Does some Amazon stuff. So if you do like Amazon, it might be on there. I don't know.
That's awesome. Kelly has a picture of Harden with her and her husband.
That's awesome.
So it's like you've already met Nate.
In a way.
Nate taught him that crossover.
Definitely the step back is definitely something from my playing days.
It's funny. James Harden grew up watching that footage from the playground in the 6 deuce.
Here's a fun story. So I played basketball all the way up until my freshman year of high school. And I was a decent shooter. I was a big guy, played under the rim 90% of the time. But when I got a chance to go behind the arc, your boy could throw a three up. Did I ever tell the story? Ever tell you the story about the one time where they had me
one time at band camp?
No. Where they had me, like, we didn't have enough players on our team. Like, we had it so, like, our midget league was like, we had our starting five, and then, the starting five couldn't play the second quarter. The second quarter was devoted to the next five players that were best to play, basically.
So that's when you got in.
No, I started. So we only had 7 players total on the team for whatever reason. I don't know if we had a snowstorm or what happened. So their coach had to pick 3 guys to play on the second team during the second quarter. So they picked 2 other guys, and then they picked me, which definitely wasn't something they wanted to do, but they had to do. But the craziest thing was there was no ball handler. Like, I wasn't a point guard in any stretch of imagination. Then my coach goes, he goes, I want you to bring the ball up. I'm like, what? I'm like, I belong under the hoop. What are you talking about?
Asked you to handle the balls, eh?
See, I can't. See what I'm doing with guys? I can't even have a conversation. I can't have recognition from my childhood.
The coach came up to you and said you guys didn't really have a ball handler, so he asked you to take care of it. So I'm just trying to help the plot of the story along.
So
anyway,
I dribble up.
Young Michael Jordan.
I dribble up. I pass it to the one guy. He passes it back, and I shoot the 3. Right, swash, like swish, like no, like it was like I hit the perfect like shot meter on like 2K. They went green. As I'm releasing the ball, my coach goes, "No!" and it goes splash, and I look over at him like, "What's wrong with that?" He wanted me to pass the ball to the other guys, which I did. It just, it just went back into the hoop. I don't know. But I mean, I was a gunner back in the day too. So, I was like one of those dudes, like, you gave me the ball once. If I pass it back to you, you're in good shape. If not, I'm shooting the ball. Like, unless I was like completely covered, like there was no way. And I was 6'2" back then. So, well, I'm still 6'2", but I was pretty tall back then as I am now.
I could just see you like turning around, just like to your coach or whatnot, like, because that's like blatant disrespect. You know what I mean? Like, when you're getting ready to like just go up and like drain a 3 for somebody to just go, like, especially when it's the coach. Like, could you imagine like being in the NBA and like out of nowhere the coach is like, no! Like, you done screwed up, but that's crazy, bro.
Like,
how did you react? Like, were you like the star of the team, or like what role?
No, I wasn't a star. I was probably the coach's son was the best, because that's usually how it always turns out. They always make him the focal point and all that. No, he was good. I'm not saying he was not the best, but I was definitely the second best guy on the team. I think I averaged about 13, 14 points a game, something like that. We won the championship. We were the underdog going into the game, and we won. I think we won on like it was one of those like last second ditch plays where someone drives or shoots the ball and makes it. I didn't make the last hoop, but there was one possession which I always remember. Like, this dude grabbed the rebound, and he was their star player on the other team. And like, I'm like, and I snatched it off him and put it back up. And that's what put us up by like, I think 4 or 6, something like that. And was like the turning point of us like staying in the game, because they end up hitting 2 threes in a row and tying it up or something like that, I believe, from what I remember. Reseller man, you hit the nail on the head right there, my friend. He loves busting my balls.
It's like my favorite pastime.
He just
If I had to list my hobbies, it'd probably be number one, if not a close second. I like some other stuff too.
He may or may not love.
You know what we're gonna have?
That would be his first love.
It probably is. Next time we get together, we need to do a live game of horse.
You could do that. I haven't shot hoop in so long, but once I find my range, I'm a shooter. I always shot the ball real high in the air, like an arc. And so how the gym was set up, there's like a trestle that runs across. So anytime I shoot like a corner three, I couldn't shoot my normal shot because literally like I hit the trestle at the top of the thing because my arc was like so like my shot would go like instead of it going like normal.
Yeah.
Mine's like I don't know why I did that, but it's fun.
What? Reseller man wants you to dunk on me?
I wish. Me and the ground.
They couldn't handle this defense. I'd be like, give me my Dumbo. Wattsville right in his face.
Me and Anthony, I'm sure we are like this with the ground. There would be no air when we jump above. You might see like a little bit of like quick glance of like some like, some hang time. When
they were writing the plot to White Men Can't Jump, they were watching me and Nate's Pee-wee basketball practices.
Yellow Brick Road says, I played basketball in high school for 2 years and then jumped to being a cheerleader. There you go.
Nice.
Baller, shaka.
That's right, reseller man. He knows where it's at. Pole basketball. You don't want none of this. We get up to the Splash Lagoon, and I start giving you them Kobe Bryants with the, between the legs off the diving board, backflip type stuff.
Pole basketball. It's over.
Let's see your range with a Nerf ball. Let's see if it's the same.
If we were talking like normal horse, like on a hoop, I'd probably school you just once I got my range. For pole basketball, anything can happen, but one thing's for sure, definitely dunking on you. Just saying.
When you're in about 3.5 feet of water, that evens the playing field, my friend.
3.5 feet.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how deep it is.
That would be like kiddie pool type thing.
Well, I mean, you're not going to be in like 10 feet of water playing basketball.
That would be like
3.5, 4. There's like little kids in there.
Yeah, there they are right there. Look what you're doing.
You gotta like fight them off to play pole basketball. You need to like hold it down, or else them kids are gonna move in on your territory. And the next thing you know, your pole basketball becomes their little play area. But you need to let them know that hey, this is where the big boys play.
Usually, pole basketballs, from what I've had experience of playing, was either now if you're at someone's house, it's not going to be in the deep end or whatever because there isn't a deep end. But if you're playing pole basketball and legit like huge pole, it's usually in the deep end of things for the most part, from what I've experienced.
I've never played pole basketball in a deep end.
That's because you never played against mom.
Craig says pole volleyball much better. I could see Nate serving up a volleyball.
I've played volleyball. Never like professional or in like a league or anything, but I've definitely played volleyball. I want to say good morning to Blue Rhino Liquidations. Appreciate you being here.
What up, buddy?
Storage Scavenger. What up?
Hey, James. What up, man?
OBX. What is going on, man? Appreciate you being here. But yeah, like now. Now
6 versus the 6'8" in the pole basketball.
Now, if we're playing like volleyball.
You know what, though? If we're going to volleyball, we should just go to the beach so that way I can show off my insane physique for all of the ladies. You know what I mean? We'll be up on the sand. I'll be running down like Hasselhoff. Like, you know?
Anthony would go to the net and defend and throw his armpits up and it'd be like, wah. Everyone would be like, oh my God.
The ball just like deflates and falls. Next thing you know, flies start falling out of the air dead. Birds, seagull. Nate.
Blue Rhino says they got approved for a house in PA.
Nice.
Gonna move over Saturday and hopefully leave with the house. Send prayers, man. I hope.
Yeah, bro.
You are my neighbor.
You need to get that graded, man. I'm telling you. Gate City's in the house. What up, Paul?
What up, Paul? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Kelly says, I hate volleyball. I failed in gym class, so I don't like it at all. It was something fun to play. The most favorite thing in the world to play was dodgeball.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
I was actually pretty good in dodgeball.
Prove it, Nate. I'm gonna put you to the test right now. You ready for it?
Yep.
Dang it, I missed.
I'm like Grease. I'm like ninja over here.
You are, man.
Now you see me? No. Later, Alex. Appreciate you being here, man.
Easy, man.
Hey,
sorry if that wrench hit you when I missed Nate.
If you see the elk Oscar, make sure tell him that he set his YouTube live up for this morning instead of that night. I sent him a message, but you might not have seen it.
Just called him that Oscar.
I'm horrible at pronunciation, and I was gonna go El Cubinacio, or how you ever say it.
Better than El Dad Oscar.
Well, I was gonna start saying that, and I stopped.
That's gonna be like my new nickname for him now. Every time I think of him, I'm just gonna be like El Dad Oscar. Sorry, man. I had to cook a little bit of jambalaya this morning just because it's awesome.
Oh, you always have that cooking, that's for sure. I was looking for a picture, but I guess I can't find it.
What are the jambalaya?
I was looking for something else, but I couldn't find it. Gilbert Road says she hated dodgeball. I do like the movie. The movie was awesome. That was a good movie. I like a lot of Will Ferrell's movies.
Dodgeball for me, my only hope was I had to be really good at catching because I'm such a big target. Although, I do have that Matrix-like agility. You know what I mean? They'll throw the ball and just be like. And apparently, literally, the planet Earth just shifted when I did that, and everything went bonkers. What's up, Summers? Good morning to you. Appreciate you being here. Tetherball, what's that? The one with you put it on a chain and you smack it around in a circle?
I believe that is right. It's usually what you see at the parks. They usually have it tied up. So this way people don't steal it, I guess. And plus that's how you play, I guess. That's why it's a good park game, I guess. Nikki was a fan of that as well.
Nice.
I can't say that I ever really played that.
You know what we should do? We should do the resell Olympics, where we just set up all these different courses that help you become a better reseller. And really, there's no point to it, but it would just be fun.
Dude, what we really should do is whenever we do set up our meetup, play dodgeball or softball or something.
Nice.
I think that'd be fun. There was I think the meetup at I think it was the Green Room meetup that the Beard Picker and Harlan went to. That's what they did. They had a softball game. I think
that's cool. We need to have a basketball game so we can see you drain them threes.
You would definitely see me drain the occasional.
Dude. All right. So if we had a basketball game, guarantee you Nate would be running up and down that court looking like Teen Wolf. You ever see that movie?
Yes, I've seen a movie. I sold a Funko Pop of Teen Wolf.
Did you? Yeah, nice. Was it the OG Scott Howard, or was it the TV show Teen Wolf?
It was the OG, and he was in his basketball all Teen Wolfed out. So that'd have been perfect if you would have mentioned that. The other 2 months that I had that thing sitting on my shelf. That thing sat forever. happy that
Dude,
thing was going.
That was like my movie back in the day, bro. I used to love that. I have no idea.
Yeah, Scott hurt his foot playing softball, I believe, last time. I believe so. Kelly, I loved Kick the Can back in the day. That was so much fun back in the day. Have you ever played Kick the Can?
No.
You never heard of Kick the Can?
What is it? You just kick a can around?
No. Oh my god! Like seriously?
Well, I mean, it's called kick the can. I mean, it would lead to the imagination that you'd be kicking a can.
It's the objective to eventually do that. So what happens is it's like hide and go seek, but you're versus all these other people, and the goal is to touch home base, whatever you make home base. So like when we played it, it was my basketball hoop because it was like in a central area of a bunch of good hiding spots, and you can go up top, and then there was a hill going up. So like if you're actually running up the hill, you'd be pretty like done for, and there's no good hiding spaces. So it was good spots from the sides and from above. So we used to do that like as kids all the way up. I think we even played that like when I was like
What's it have to do with kicking a can?
So what happens is the last person that is hiding, because you're all on the team, the last person that comes in has to kick the can and not get caught.
Okay.
Was real fair on dodgeball? Was I wrong about that?
I don't know.
Maybe I am.
I haven't seen that movie in forever. He might have been in. I don't know if he was like the main character or nothing.
It was real fair.
Reseller Man says, "What? You mean kids actually played together in the neighborhood? It's crazy, isn't it?"
Right nowadays, they don't do that at all.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I was totally wrong about dodgeball. He's definitely not in that movie. Good call, Michelle. It was Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller and a couple other guys. Flipping goodies, what up, Mike? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Lone Star Picker, how you doing? Busy doing Ecom stuff. Howdy, y'all. Oops.
Who does Ecom stuff around here?
Ecom's only on Fridays, I guess.
Ecom? Are we talking about Ecom this morning?
Maybe could. I mean,
was Uncle B talking about Ecom?
We talked about Ecom.
Like, what do you guys talk about when I'm not around?
That's what we. That's usually what we do on Fridays.
Talk about Ecom, huh? You save up all week for it.
It's like it's like a little dark place. I keep it like stored, hidden, because Anthony always doesn't let me bring it out. Then I eventually on Friday I just blow up with it. Yeah.
Louis says that they talk about us when we're not here. I figured.
Yeah, they're like, man, this show's so much better on Fridays. I don't know what is going on.
You probably sit around and pout. Probably all you talk to Uncle B about is Anthony. You're probably like, well, Anthony says this, and Anthony does that. And if Anthony was here, he'd be doing this. I mean, it's okay, man. I understand.
Right? We always gotta bring the beyond first. I don't know why. Even though the show's called Ecom and Beyond, we always do beyond. We usually stay beyond. Then eventually we try to bring it back to Ecom, and then it just kind of.
Yeah, I'm just following Nate's lead here. You know what I mean?
My lead. That's gonna be the title of the show. It's gonna be like talk about Anthony or talk about Pittsburgh Friday.
All about me.
So, do you want to talk about Ecom though? Can we talk about Ecom?
I guess we can talk about a little Ecom. You guys want to talk about Ecom?
Speaking of Ecom, I sold something on eBay.
What?
Guess what it is?
I'm guessing a card.
You're correct, sir. Question is, what card? See if you're paying attention.
Yeah, you said something about somebody selling you a bunch of offers on was it a Luca or something? I don't know. Then I must not have been paying attention that good. Somebody sent you a bunch of offers that you said.
See how he is, guys. Don't even pay attention to me.
I mean, I knew the big details. I don't know all the details, but you sold something on eBay that resembled a card, and you were getting a lot of offers on another card.
Sold a Devin Booker I listed yesterday. Silver. $17.99 plus shipping. Probably would be a 10. It's really centered pretty well.
Nice.
But
the man wants to talk about Mr. Burns.
All right, we'll talk about Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns. He comes up to me today, which I knew he was going to. He said, "So what do we do on Friday?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, I worked Friday." He goes, "Yeah, but what did you do?" Because like you didn't do much on Friday. I'm like, "Listen here, bud. You wanted me to stay for 8 hours because the stupid coworker I have wants to stay 8 hours on a Friday when I'm off Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Who would want to stay there for a whole 8 hours? Not this guy. Not this guy." So I was like, "Look."
So did you leave early or did you stay the whole time?
We left, I think it was like 7 some change. We worked.
Yeah.
But like I did other stuff so we can get out. Like I did all the cleaning and all the like nonsense stuff. And the dude did all his stuff that Mr. Burns asked for the whole time and made me look bad. Even though like we had to do this stuff before we leave. I had to I wanted to get out of here. So I did all the nonsense. So as soon as he got out of the freezer, I was like, "Let's go. Time to go."
Let's go.
The bus is literally rolling. All right.
They keep rolling. They hating. They're gonna catch Nate riding dirty.
So that was my only update. Literally, all I saw Mr. Burns for literally that 1 minute that we had that conversation. So I apologize for such a bad update on that. But now let's get to the meat and potatoes, which is
meat and potatoes.
All right. Nobody wants to talk DDB. We want to talk meat and potatoes because that's
all right. What are you serving up then, Nate? With your
with the pandemic going on, business is so much different than before, of course, from sourcing opportunities to online sales to you name it.
For sure.
How do you scale your business, Pittsburgh?
You just got to be more strategic. I mean, that's the big thing. Like in times like this, you have to work harder, not smarter. You know what I mean? Or no, other way around. You have to work smarter, not harder.
Or I was about this group.
Yeah, guys, here's what you do. Anything that makes logical sense, don't do it.
Right.
Do everything the hardest possible way. Break your backs if you can. No.
Literally do what Mr. Burns would have you do. And
exactly.
Kill yourself.
Here's what you do. Put your eBay store on vacation mode. Put it in an application to work with Nate. No.
Literally, I literally have no coworkers anymore, by the way. But yeah, I mean, literally, like
you have no what?
I have no coworkers anymore. I'm the only person on my shift, by the way.
That sucks, dude. Like, how many people were you supposed to have on your shift?
Usually, when I got injured, there was 4 on the shift. Now that I'm on the shift, there's 1. That tells you, people out there, how much of a beast this beard is, just by the way. But anyway, let's get back to Ecom. But yeah, I think totally scaling your business is totally different than before. Before, you could kind of do it multiple different ways because the economy was booming. Now we're in a very fragile-ish state, I would say. You
can do it different ways. You just need to be more careful, because like you could very easily invest in something that's going to tank much faster now because you don't know the validity of the world that we live in,
Right.
or the volatility, I mean, of the world that we live in.
Like, take for instance, now sports cards have been booming, but eventually they're going to kind of settle. So, like in the card market and the collectibles market, I think that, some stuff is going really well, and some stuff is going to kind of sink a little bit because of collectibles and hobbyish things are very, they're wants, not needs. You know what I mean? So whatever you're trying to get into, if you sell on eBay, Amazon, Mercari, that type of stuff, you want to try and find stuff that is needs versus wants. Now, there's some stuff is perfectly awesome for this time of what's going on because people need stuff to do. They're in the house, they're stuck, they're not. Some people aren't working, so they need stuff to kind of, keep their mind at ease and kind of forget a little bit what's going on. You know what I mean? So like the video games and systems and stuff like that have been going super, super awesome. During the pandemic, and like Wii's were going for insane money. Switches brand new in the box or upwards of $600. So these are things that from now until who knows, especially with the video game market basically coming out with 2 systems during this time, I think there's definitely a lot of potential there for resellers. That's for sure.
I wonder how short of supply those systems are going to be. Like, is it going to be worth like ordering a bunch and then just reselling them? Or do you think they're going to have like mass quantities available because it is Christmas time when they're coming out? What do you think?
I don't know. Like,
honestly, I've been thinking about moving my PS4 now just because the PS5's coming out. And
I would definitely move any systems that are going to be upgraded now. I would definitely put those on the market. Now, I mean, like if you're a hardcore gamer or a collector, like you are with a lot of systems, maybe you just keep it just because for nostalgia, for personal gaming.
The only systems I'm allowing myself to do that with now is Nintendo, because before I had every single system of every single variety, and some of them I didn't even care to play. I just had them because I wanted every system. You know what I mean? And then I was like, yeah, I can't do that. This is like way too expensive. I can't afford it. I'm buying stuff that I don't want just because like I want to collect video games. So like I limited it to just Nintendo systems and only like keeping first party games that like I actually have nostalgia for, to like limit myself down a bit. But yeah, so I wouldn't really care as much. The biggest thing for me is like, I wouldn't be able to play Madden until the new one comes out type thing. You know what I mean? So just because of Switch, you can't play Madden because it's not on there.
Now, one thing I would say is like, since the new system is coming out, usually people dump games like crazy.
Yeah.
And we know how kind of like the systems kind of.
Well, I think the new ones are backward compatible too. So you can still play your like PS4 and stuff like that. As far as I understand, you can still continue to play those games on the new one. At least for the one of the two, the Xbox or the PlayStation. I'm not entirely sure. I sold my Xbox a couple months ago. I actually put it into that Prism Zion I bought.
Oh, okay.
I basically just sold it and used the money for that.
Let's say good morning to Money for Mars. What up? Appreciate you being here. Jennifer, what up? Appreciate you being here. But yeah, I think that, usually with that news, now if one of the systems is not backwards compatible, then those games would be games that we could snag for the cheap.
Yeah.
And be able to, basically keep and store away for a rainy day, because we know how the systems kind of just come back around. And next you know, like they're super hot because of nostalgia and other reasons. So, if you're able to pick up some of the different games that people eventually would die for coming back, I think it would be a pretty good idea to pick up those if you can get them cheap enough.
Yeah, for sure. Gary, what up, man?
What up, Gary? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here.
Freddie said that PS5 is supposed to be backwards compatible. So
Yeah, I believe that. I think that was the one I heard too. I wasn't sure. That's why I didn't really want to say anything. But yeah, definitely, I definitely, PS4 games probably won't be as, on the market as much other ones, but they might still be, because I'm sure the graphics will probably be better on the regular PS5 games. We got Dan the Man. Answer, man. Appreciate you being here.
Oh, breakfast burrito.
Our Picker says, I got a neighborhood sale a couple weeks ago and asked the first lady there if she had video games, and she told me she just donated them to their store. That stinks, man.
That's a hurt piece.
Sometimes, like, if they're on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, I'll ask them before the sale and be like, hey, do you have any video games? Do you have any stuff like that? So I can try to, like, pre-purchase some of them like that, or at least fill out and see if there's a possibility that that I can get some or whatever, because those are definitely something that I'll always look for. Video games, I mean, most of us do too. So if you're not an early riser, or you don't have that basically set in stone before the sale, if you're not the first one there, those are gone. They're always basically gone, especially around here. I swear there's like a network or team in PA that just, at least in my area, that just goes into every yard sale and just like spreads out. Like, okay, we got 10 sales, let's spread out, go. And they just buy all the video games.
Yeah. Hey, Justin just said that Halo Infinite was delayed yesterday, so there's speculation the new Xbox may be delayed past holiday 2020. I'll tell you what, if that's the case, like, PlayStation sales are about to boom. Because all them people that probably would have gotten the Xbox for Christmas are probably going to be like, give me the PlayStation now.
Yeah, that would definitely make PlayStation, especially the newest one, super hot for Christmas. So that's a good bolo. Or
I should probably put a pre-order in it just for like my personal self. You know what I mean? I might do that. I might like head to GameStop later and just be like, yo, hook me up with a pre-order on that PS5.
How much is the cost for like usually like on pre-order like that?
Dude, I have no idea what it is. But I think you put like $50 down as like a hold type thing. Because I know like if you're pre-ordering a game, it's like $5, but like anything like bigger like that, I think they charge you like $50 to hold it or something like that. Reserve one.
Yeah, Freddie, I would definitely sell your PS4 if you're going to get a PS5.
Again, it depends on how much you play it too. Like for me, like our PS4, like we pretty much use it to like stream like movies and watch wrestling whenever they have WWE pay-per-views. Like, because if I'm playing a video game, it's most likely on my Switch, because like it's just most convenient for me because I can kind of take it anywhere with me and play.
Yeah.
So like I kind of just have the PS4 because I have Madden on it, and like Spider-Man and games I couldn't get other places. But yeah, so for me, like it wouldn't be a big deal to sell it. I would just have to figure out a different streaming method for media, essentially. But if you play it like daily or like a lot, going months without a video game could suck. But again, it just depends on how many consoles you have in your house or whatever.
You can get a streaming box on Amazon for like $30 or something.
Yeah, well, the problem is getting something that's compatible with WWE Network, because even like Xfinity is not. Like I can get like any other streaming thing I have except for the WWE Network. So dumb.
I'll have to tell you about something after the show. So.
Yeah, James says, how do you have time for video games? Honestly, man, I really don't. Like, like truth be told, I really don't. So that's why my PS4 doesn't really get much playtime. I do play the Switch every once in a while, but not nearly as much as I'd like, because especially now that I'm putting like 2 to 3 hours a day into like editing YouTube videos, like whereas before I was just kind of throwing them together and you guys got what you got. Now that I'm like actually putting like all of the effort into it, like I really don't have much downtime.
Me too, Blue Rhino. I'm up in all hours of the night. Like I was up till 3 in the morning tonight, or this. Well, I guess technically today, and was down here working, and then I went upstairs and played Switch. It's the only time I get like peace. You know what I mean? No kids. I'm at the foul line shooting a foul shot. I don't have a kid running past. Like it's like super distraction. That's why my foul shot percentage on my career is 77%. Should be at like 95%.
What up, Lisa? Good to see you.
Good morning. Appreciate you being there.
What's up, Louis?
What up, Louis? Appreciate you being here.
See you, man.
So, with the pandemic being here, and like scaling eBay has always been a thing that's hard for me personally, like a part-time reseller.
Well, yeah, because you don't have the time put into the listing and the packing and shipping. So, like, for anybody that has a full-time job, like, you can still scale eBay, but it's a lot more of a time restriction than I would say probably Amazon or something like that, especially if you can figure out ways around like all of like the pre-packing and stuff like that. Because I know people that they don't even do like the packing. They just have like not manufacturers, their distributors send it into Amazon and do it or something like that. So like there are ways around it, especially for like super busy people. But what would you say, in your opinion, would be like the best way for, especially somebody on like an Amazon like track, like you can actually even do it like my career in like 2K mode. Like you can be like the Amazon career and I could be like the eBay career. Like what would be your advice for somebody that wants to kind of make Amazon like a full-time, like sustainable income, that they can support their family and not have to worry about money and just like kind of ball out with? Like what would be the best way to do that? Because I feel like you'd be much better at answering that than me.
Well, I think wholesale is definitely something that you want to add at some point. I mean, not only from a steady cash flow of profit that you can have come in from whatever you're putting in. Like, you're not going to make the super high ROI on it, but at least it's a nice steady amount of money that should be coming in because it should be newer in-demand stuff that you're buying because you're able to get it around the same time the retailers are and everything like that. Also, you're getting invoices, which allows you to get ungated in all types of different categories where now when you're going to the store, you're online shopping, and say you're using, say you're online just like shopping, and you found, there's a clearance deal where you get an extra 50% off your whole order or whatever the case is. Now that expands and opens up so many more doors, and you're able to shop all the time. Like you're able to shop 24/7 and order stuff, and you can even send that stuff. Instead of having it come to your house, you can even send it to prep centers like Kelly's talking about and have them do some of the work for you. Now, you can even send, I believe you can send those directly to Amazon as well, but they would have to do all the prep work and everything for you to do that. But the only problem that I have with that is you don't get to see the product before Amazon does. You don't get to make sure that everything is correct and everything else. So like, I guess I wouldn't do that. I would either get it sent to a prep, or you could send it to your house and then ship it in, or you could do merch fulfill, which I think that's kind of going to be the face of what Amazon is going to turn in. Not turn into, but it's going to be a huge part of what Amazon does for third-party sellers moving forward because of storage space constrictions and things of that nature.
Yeah, personally, like I like the merch fulfill model a lot. I think that's probably going to be what I do a lot going forward. Like whenever I do find certain items that are like quick flips, I might just roll with the merch fulfill unless I can figure out a way to get it like packed and shipped and all that done, or at least like teach my wife to do it whenever she's like off work type thing, just because I hate that part of it. It's like my least favorite part of Amazon.
Yeah, that's a good tip too. Money from Mars says send it to a prep center state that has no sales tax. That is a good tip. Now I have a sales certificate, resale certificate, so I don't pay taxes on, um, basically anything. Food and clothing was already uh, something that we don't pay taxes for in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But like all the other stuff, like anything that I buy for business that is something that is getting resold, I don't have to pay taxes on that type of stuff, so it helps. But like I don't, there probably is some type of tax fee for the service of having them, do the work too. So maybe that is another way that you could save money too.
Mm-hmm.
Got Marie in the house. What up?
What up?
Appreciate you being here. Nikki T says Rev wants me to learn listing on eBay so I can help him with his death pile. Having two people work together doing especially eBay listing is a huge boost to grow the business, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Now you can put up double the listings, or at least have a set number of listings that you can kind of hammer out per day between you and him. If he's out sourcing cards or hitting yard sales or whatever, you're able to kind of help out where he might have like a lack day or something like that. So eBay is, no matter what, is definitely one of the top sites to resell on, just because of exposure to your products, so it's definitely something, yourself. Like I know that you've been doing Macari, Nikki, so doing eBay, you might even do even better than what you're doing in Macari. The one thing I do like though is the 10% fees flat rate. Like that is super nice. And how they do the shipping and everything, like with the labels, basically just they send you a label and print it, or you can do your own. So Money from Mars says, when doing OA, when I purchase from Target or Walgreens, they don't take sales exempt on website. If you go to the bottom of the page for Target, I believe there should be a link or something like that where you can click, and then you could send in your information, and then they would set your account as having tax exempt, because that's what I had to do for Walmart. I had to do my own separate, I had to send in something separate through an email. I've done it with that and a couple other places. But if they don't have that, I would just try and get in touch with someone over the phone, or if they have some type of email correspondence where you can email back and forth through like customer support, I would definitely do that.
Yeah. So from the other perspective, I'll kind of hit you with a little bit of eBay, what I think would be a good way to help scale your business. And there's a lot of different ways, but my opinion, eBay it's cash dependent as far as scalability. Like you need to be able to have stuff to list. Now, is that cash always liquid? Like, is your cash always going to be dollars and bills? No, your cash could also be death pile items around your house, that type of stuff. So for me, whenever I started my business, I didn't have any money to put into it. You know what I mean? Like it was literally just taking what I could find around the house that we weren't using and turning that stuff into the liquid cash I needed to be able to literally do this the right way. So it doesn't really, and the awesome thing is most of the people watching this, you're already at a point where you're selling on eBay and you're way beyond that point. So the big thing is just taking advantage of opportunities and making sure that you're able to take advantage of opportunities, because we're in such a, if you do this full time, you're in such an opportunistic position. Whereas if you're not out there consistently finding stuff, your good stuff starts to dry up and eBay starts to slow down, and you might get in that rut where you're like grinding your gears, like, man, I've listed like 5 things today or 10 things today, and I might have 1 or 2 sales or like none at all. But I think with eBay, good inventory always drives sales. Every single time I have good inventory that's in demand, I start to sell stuff that's been sitting for 2 years that has been like, I don't even know why I bought this item. But the more good stuff I list, the more eyes come to my store, the more other things start to sell, in my opinion. And a couple of things I've done in seasons where I haven't had very much money to be able to get those good items or those higher dollar items is I've done consignments with people. You know, whether that's like, say, people that you're friends with. Like, for example, like one of my best friends just consigned his entire card collection to me. And because of that, like, my eBay store has been blowing up. And a good portion of that like is going to go back to him because I took that in a consignment. But by the same point, that's really good inventory that I wouldn't have had, because for me to go out and spend probably the $5,000+ that his collection is worth would, like, for me to drop 5K on it would have been a hurt piece. You know what I mean? Or even close to that would have been a hurt piece. But that's the nice thing about eBay. There's so many different ways to scale. You know what I mean? Like in the past, like I've talked about it, I took a PayPal working capital loan. I took a $2,000 loan that I used to basically take a trip to go source for an entire week straight, and bought so much stuff that like literally I was able to turn that around, pay off the loan, and take my wife on a all expense paid trip to Disney for a week. You know what I mean? So like there are different ways and different things you can do, and not one size fits all. Like what works for me might not work for you, but then again, what works for you might not work for Nate. So it's just one of those things. Like the great thing about Ecom is money is everywhere. You just need to go find it. You know, whether you're doing eBay or Amazon, you could be an Amazon seller. All you need to do is like literally like instead of like worrying about like this or that, just go out and start scanning stuff. Like that's what I tell my wife all the time. Like when she gets her surgery and she can't work, I'm gonna stick her on a one of those scooters at Walmart. I'm gonna be like, go find us some money, babe. You know what I mean? Like I understand like you won't be able to work, but you don't necessarily need to if you can go scan and find us a couple replenishable items that will make up your salary. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like one of those things where with Ecom is you make your own destiny. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I could be sitting around upset because right now I might only have like one or two things to pack this morning, but I could very easily just click live on YouTube today and I could sell stuff in an auction, you know, if I need to make some money, you know what I mean, to generate more money to go out and buy more capital or to pay this bill or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that's the really cool thing. Like whenever I go picking sometimes, like I don't know if you guys ever watched The Terminator, but like when he's walking through a place and he's scanning for people and stuff like that, I almost kind of feel like that when I'm looking through products. Like, all right, like I might be walking through the aisle at Walmart, like, okay, boom, valuable, that's $20. I know I can flip this for like 60 online type of thing, you know what I mean? Or, you know, like, for example, oh, that's just your run of the mill like tool. You know what I mean? You can get those at, you know, Walmart for $10. I'll pass through that. So money's everywhere, guys. Like that's the main thing. Like I try to teach people, at least, like, you know, like my nephews and a couple other people that I've kind of taught eBay and stuff like that, is like, if you go looking for it, you'll find it. It's everywhere, and people have stuff that's undervalued. You know what I mean? Like any yard sale you go to, you can basically make money at for the most part, unless they're asking eBay prices. So I don't know. I'll jump off the soapbox. I'm really passionate about the freedom and profitability that Ecom gives you. The ability to like literally just wake up in any given day and be like, okay, I'm going to go have an adventure. I'm going to find something cool and I'm going to make money off of it. Like, I love that. That's why I still do this.
Yeah, for me, like the problem I have that with my with eBay is just the sourcing. You know what I mean? Like being part-time reseller basically. You know what I mean? Like I'm not able to scale like I'd want because I'm not able to buy, say, 50 or 100 items of stuff that can move at a decent rate unless I find a community sale and spend a Saturday doing something like that. Mm-hmm. There's a couple ways that you can get bulk inventory, but like you see people doing like the liquidation, and stuff like that. you get a little bit in the gray area of what kind of stuff you're kind of getting and deal with condition. Storage lockers, like a lot of times you don't know what's in the boxes and stuff like that. But if you do well and know kind of like what to look for, you're able to do pretty well. That's more or less like pallets and storage lockers is the one thing that I think for the most part is the only way you can really scale eBay. Now, like from my perspective, because of my situation. Now, if you're able to go to a bunch of different yard sales, like how Nikki and OBX and OSP and all those guys, they went out and went to, went out to 127, like that would have been like super like clutch for me if I was able to go something like that, because now I'm able to source so many different things from a lot of different people.
That's awesome.
And
what about that logo, Nate? Jody made you a logo.
That's pretty good, man.
What's up, Todd? Good to see you, man. I also want to say what's up to Mac Man in the chat.
What up, Mac Man? What up, Todd? Appreciate you being here, man. But yeah, that's more or less like my kind of issue that I have with eBay. You know what I mean? It's really not
it just takes the time, man. Like you need it's activity is everything. Like you literally need to like be pumping in listings. You need to make sure you constantly have good inventory. You need to constantly be like doing sales and like all that stuff. Like it's just like with your time, like I just don't think like the time that you have, I guess, set aside like outside of Amazon, family, YouTube, all that stuff, you probably just don't have like the adequate like time to like really get it rocking and rolling like the way it needs to.
That's what I mean. Like for me, I would have to have like really be.
I mean, really, for you would need a lister, dude. Like you would need like to have the ability to constantly be throwing up listings or something. Like
I don't think I would need a lister because I could list. It would be more or less
like a photo taker, maybe. That way, like you could list from anywhere. Then you could have it on your phone. You know what I mean? Just be like plopping in listings or.
It's more or less like I feel like I need like a sourcer, like someone to basically like outsource like inventory for me, like like Facebook Marketplace deals. I mean that's one of the few places that I feel like I can actually like get decent inventory from time to time, because I'm able to look at stuff like during all types of hours and hopefully meet someone within my time frame. Where with yard sales sometimes, like if it's one out in the middle of nowhere, you know what I mean, like it's hard to it's hard for me to get to that, because it just it's only one yard sale in the middle of nowhere. Like that would take an hour or so out of my day just to get there, and then to get nothing or possibly nothing would really like kill the day or kill a lot of momentum that I could have got.
That's the thing with yard sales, is you have to hit quantity to pull quality most times, unless like you're just lucky enough to be like one of the first few people to hit a really good one. You almost need to like really try to capitalize on multiple to really pull away with a good haul.
Right. Like I feel
say good morning. Good. I was just gonna say good morning to Jeremy and George. Appreciate you guys being here.
Good morning. Appreciate you being here, hanging out with us this morning. But yeah, that's like the main thing. Like I feel like to really do well, especially in like my area where I'm at, like I would need like 2 or 3 other people to hit yard sales while I hit yard sales, like basically scour and destroy type.
What's the rate to be your sourcer? Because I'll break you off some of my findings.
like it wouldn't make any sense to hire someone like yourself, because you would take the great stuff and I would get stuck with I don't feel like dealing with this type of inventory.
I'll just give you all the men's clothing, because I give all the female clothing to my wife. But then it would be what you already have, so it wouldn't make sense.
Like in my opinion, there's
like,
2 ways.
Who would you trust like sourcing for you though, if it wasn't somebody like myself that like really does this and like knows what they're. what they're looking for.
Well, it would be someone that had probably niche type of, you know, knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, they're good at getting clothing, or they're good at getting toys and collectibles. Okay, well, you go get that basically. And then if anything of this, and this shows, send me a picture, or at least like let me know, and I'll give you the nod to basically buy this, because maybe they don't know.
Something on Facebook. They might have like people in groups that like have that type of situation already. You know what I mean?
I don't think in my area there would be. And that's another thing. Like, people in my area, I don't trust anybody. I really don't mess with anybody that I could be like, here's $200. You know what I mean? Like, or they, you know, like, unless they had their own money and would go out and do it. That's a whole nother thing.
You need to just leave the 6 deuce. You ever think of that? Come to an area with
I'm stuck here.
Ripe pickings. You ain't stuck there. You can leave the 6 deuce anytime you want.
No, I'm stuck here.
Yeah, there you go.
Seller sourcer. Anybody who doesn't want their to source for Amazon and do all the stuff for Amazon, you can be my sourcer.
Wait, are they sourcing for Amazon, or are they sourcing for eBay here?
That would be someone who'd want to not do Amazon and just make it all that.
What type of break off do they get?
I'd give them a commission, especially if it's a good set. That's for sure.
You heard it here, folks. You can get a commission from the Amazon guru.
I mean, that's basically the only way that, you know, it would be.
I just think of you making that face every time I see it.
It would be the only way to be fair from a small business perspective type person like myself. You know what I mean? Like, I pay for what you get and how well it sells when it sells type situation. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only way it would be like 100% like fair, like all the way around. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't go out and pay $12 an hour and then they just sat at Starbucks and drank lattes and made $12 an hour while I paid out all the money. Like, you know.
Can you pull up Mike's comment, Nate? Flipping goodies. He said, "Have you started setting up a Facebook store and linking it to Marketplace?" I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, that's how little I use Facebook. I didn't even realize that was a thing. But that'd be a great idea if, like, somehow I can figure out how to get my eBay listings into that. Is that a possible thing? Like, how does that work for anybody that knows? Do you know anything about that, Nate? Because that's intriguing to me, because I would love to integrate my like eBay and like what I actually am doing work wise socially. You know what I mean? In an easy way, if that makes sense, without like having to do double the work.
Yeah, it would be like a percentage like off the net profits. That would be the only fair way to kind of do it. Like, if someone totally doesn't like eBay, or I'm sorry, Amazon, and like, but they like sourcing it and don't like dealing with the nonsense of it, that would be the only way after, like, you know, after sell of goods and all that type of stuff.
I mean, I see Macari growing too, Mike. I don't know if they'll surpass eBay, but God bless them if they do. You know, I like Macari. Like, I'd be comfortable using eBay or Macari as a primary platform. I like that eBay still gives you a little bit more nicheability with the cards and stuff, just because that's been like a huge portion of my business for like the past like month or so, 2 months. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I love both. I can't say anything bad about either. I've sold a bunch of cards on both.
What's up, Dana? Appreciate you. We have the King of Clubs, Carolina Hustler. What is going on? Appreciate you being here. Macari, I think, from what I see on Macari, people overprice on Macari, which, you would think it would be the opposite way. Like it'd be cheaper.
Well, you almost have to overprice on Macari because then you have to drop the price to promote it.
Yeah,
not buried in the listing. So
see, that's something they need to fix. Like, not saying that that element is wrong or whatever. They need to have some type of store element, like, because once you drop your price, you either have to relist the item, like once you drop it to a certain point, like, if, you know what I mean, like you have to basically put it back. Like I should be able to like put
exactly
something in a decent range and then be cool with it, instead of going from like, I have this like Devin Booker card that I sold just recently. I sold this for $17. I'd have to put this up for, I don't know, $30 and then go down because it'll take a little bit of time to get traction or someone maybe to buy it. Now, some stuff it might go off a lot faster because of like who they are or whatever. Like I sold a Luca card by accident and then I canceled because price jumped on it. And then, you know what I mean? Like, so like, I don't know. Cause I think they're missing out on their big advantage. Like for sellers having a less fees, the sellers should be able to be cheaper than eBay because they're paying like, I think 3 or 4% less in fees than eBay. Then they're not paying fees on the shipping as well. So you would think that Macari would have an advantage versus, like eBay in a way, but because of how they're structured, they're actually not. It's more of like a waiting game if you want to buy something. And I think that's what a lot of people do on there. They'll like an item and just sit there and wait until like the bottom drops out of it because no one's buying it. And then it's like first come, first serve draw. Like people go nuts.
We'll say what's up to Oscar. Appreciate you being here. Or shall we say that Oscar?
Oh, man.
I may have just put Nate on the spot, folks.
You did. I'm horrible with pronunciation, Oscar. I started saying L and I was like going to say your name because I told Alex that
you see what happened was, no, I'm just kidding.
I told Alex that your show was scheduled for in the morning, and then just to tell you to fix it or whatever, because I'm a nice guy like that. I like to help out people, and it came out wrong. But anyway, if you guys aren't subscribed to Oscar, check him out. He has a show with the Thrifting Goomba and Nevermore Antiques.
And it's tonight.
Yes.
At 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Eastern. Right after Rev and Nikki. How about there's like some solid programming tonight, guys. How about that? You get to watch Rev, Resell, and Nikki T live, followed by El Humanazo. What? It's gonna be awesome.
They're going to be talking about how to basically deal with scammers, I believe, or something in that term. I remember I saw it real quick pop up on the screen before.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like there are literal like eBay priced items at some of our Goodwills here in Pittsburgh. I don't know if you noticed that. But,
yeah, I've seen shoes super high for no reason.
Dude, shoes is real bad, dude. I barely buy shoes there anymore because of that.
I used to score all the time on shoes. I'd pick them up for $5, sell them 30, 35.
I mean, for a while there, they were selling the Heat for $7.99, and then like anything that was like super Heat was like $10, $12, and like now it's like literal. Like you go down and it's like, oh sweet, there's some LeBrons right there. What do you mean this is $39.99? Like, are you serious? Like that's like brand new price on eBay. Like I can go to Ross Dress for Less and get them for that price. Like like that's crazy.
I think that Goodwill Online has definitely changed the way Goodwill does things because of the pandemic, because everything was shut down. They saw and definitely enjoyed the high dollar amounts of money they were getting for video games and systems and all the stuff that we love to find at the Goodwill. And they took all those items and just, they're getting scooped out of the store. They definitely have niched down. I mean, do they miss stuff? Of course. But
speaking of them missing stuff, those video games that I found, literally all of them sold within like the first week of being listed. Some, like most of them, in the first day. It was crazy.
Well, that store I would definitely like circle on the map of the like places you source because they must
I
not.
go there once a week, if not once every 2 weeks, just because of waiting for more inventory.
I would go there every 3 days, 2 days, because you never know what they're going to throw out there. I mean, if they're dropping that,
Well, they also price things very high at that store too. Like whenever I first started reselling, that was my honey hole. And then they brought in people that like really started like jacking up prices on stuff. Like there was a while there where like I wasn't finding anything there. Like I wasn't even uploading the videos from there because it was so like bad. But ever since the pandemic and they opened back up, they've been like slipping on some stuff, and I've been catching them slipping.
the one thing that's nice now, Blue Rhino is right. Like depending on what you buy or what the price of shipping can be insane, but you can pick up in store. Like if you have one around you. But the thing I was doing was, while during the pandemic, and I even did a video on this, like I would find one item that was like a home run item, and then basically I would source from that store until like I was able to fill my quota, which is like the most you can put in one box. I think it was like 20 pounds of weight. That's like their max that they'll ship or whatever. Yeah. In one box. So like that's what I would do. I would make sure like my weight was good, and I would just get other items thrown in, and the shipping really wouldn't be too much of a difference. Now that was for stuff in PA, Michigan, Ohio, maybe even Colorado, out in Uncle B's territory. I would go scour that over there because they had. I couldn't believe some of the stuff I was seeing over at his, and then he pulled so much good stuff out of his arcs and stuff. Man, like that's probably like the reseller, like one of the reseller havens, like places that like I would consider moving to that was not California or Florida. Like that is probably the top three like places for an eBay reseller to basically source and live at.
Definitely.
Carolina Hustler says they don't know golf clubs. I guess you're right about that, because that is your bread and butter, my friend. That's for
Dude,
sure.
I wish they would get good golf clubs out my way. They don't, at least in my part of town, they don't put that many good golf clubs out. They're all like old and like ratchet looking. But other parts of town, I guess, would be a lot better for that. I should probably go check some other Goodwills.
What's up, Tom Cruise? Appreciate you being here. Always a pleasure. But yeah, like I think on items like golf clubs, they're still going to let those roll out just because they're a pain to ship. I don't think
that bad. It's essentially like shipping a bat, just a little bit taller.
Well, yeah. I mean, for me and you, it wouldn't be bad because we obviously, I think every reseller has those like corner boxes or whatever they're called. Those really long boxes. Yeah. Will we ever use them? Who knows? It depends if we find golf clubs or baseball bats or whatever, but or posters. I know you send out posters and stuff too.
Tom Cruise is in the house.
But what's it called? Like for us, it's not bad, but for like Goodwill, like their employees, I would say, unless they literally do that every day, like they don't want anything to be like hard-ish to ship. They want everything just to be able to go plop, plop, mass amounts of bubble wrap and pillows, and then they ship it out because they definitely don't resize a box. Because I've had to argue with them on shipping multiple times on stuff because their weights were way off. That's another thing too. Like if their weights are known to be off, like I had a hoodie, I think they tried saying it was 3 pounds. I'm like, what type of hoodie is that? Like, is that like the world's like heaviest thing? Is it made out of silver or something? Like, there's no way. So they adjusted the price or the weight, which allowed me to get everything in my box, and it made it cheaper for me to ship.
Nice. So Gary and Tom have a auction on Saturday, guys.
What?
Noon Eastern. I think it's 9 o'clock their time. So make sure you check that out.
There you go.
Dan says you're a knight in a shining hoodie, Date.
Right, I would be for that heavy of a weighted hoodie. Like literally, like that would be something like pros would wear to like make them faster when they're running or whatever. Yeah. You know, they get like the parachutes and they run behind. They wouldn't need no parachute with that thing. That'd be like running around with a brick to your back.
Yep. That's for sure.
Well, it's starting to get close to that time. And I got a couple things I got to do before I go to work.
Uh-oh.
So I think it's time to shut her down.
Dun, dun, dun. Shut it down, Nate.
So I appreciate everyone being here today. Hope you guys come tomorrow to hang out. We will be on my channel again on Friday. Anything you want to say?
We will be on the More Handsome Parties channel tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today, guys, today at 5 p.m., I will be releasing a video of Ashley's latest trip to the Disney store. So if you want to see my wife spend my money, come check out my channel at 5 o'clock Eastern.
Before you guys leave, please smash a thumbs up. It helps get the channel out there, and it makes me happy. Please.
Yep. And if you guys haven't, make sure you check to see you're still subscribed, because YouTube sometimes does a scrubbing. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for Nate, and also come over and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because you get to see the show more if you subscribe to both of us.
Don't forget about the monthly giveaways we do for all YouTube comments. To get in, you just comment. Just leave a comment on any lives, videos, anything for that month, and you're in there like swimwear and have a chance to win one of our beautiful prizes. And the more people that participate, the better the prize. So let's see what awesome stuff we can give away to you guys next month. And we are out of here. Have a great day. Get that money. And remember, the beard is the man.